Hello, this is the Truth Speaks Network. I'm the host, Dylan, and I'm joined by James,
Thank you, thank you.
Sylvan,
Peace, man.
and Chris.
Yeah, and announcer, co-host last. It's always good.
Sorry, Chris. So, today we're going to be discussing if the New World Order is real or fake. I know James has a lot to say on this topic, so James, do you want to start us off?
Well, I would like to know what are some of the things that people say, or how they would say that the New World Order does not exist. What would make somebody think that there's not this evil conglomerate that's working against mankind?
There were a few points that I read about it because I did some research on counter-arguments. The time it took was one of them. Do you want to go through them point by point?
Well, yeah, okay. I'll elaborate a little bit on the time it's taking, right?
Okay.
That's what you're saying, right? That's what the argument is the fact that it's taken them too long if it was happening?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'd like to point out here in the United States we have 545 people who rule over 300 and right at 30 million American citizens. Now, in order to rule over those amount of people and not be drug out the streets, lynched, hung, deported, exiled, whatever you want to do, you have to do things very slowly. You do it in small increments. One of Hitler's top men in the World Tribunal Court was talking about how you take away liberty very slowly. That way, by the time you realize it, there's nothing you can do about it. And see, that's what they have to do. There's 7.2 billion people on the planet. And there may be 1,000, and that's being very generous, 1,000 people who actually run it. It takes a long time to fool the entire world into a false sense of insecurity where you can swoop in and rule them.
So the other argument, which I think is the most convincing.
Well, everybody else's opinion on that.
In my opinion, first of all, the New World Order is printed in several official American documents, including your money. Novus Ordum Secularum. That means New World Order. Most people don't even question that.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay. Secondly, a number of famous people, including Muhammad Ali, talk about the New World Order, and they've written books on the subject. The first one that I know of was by H.G. Wells called The New World Order. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he talks about it bringing world peace and blah, 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 okay, which is all garbage. There's also a book by Pat Robertson, a book by, let me see, anyways, a lot of Ralph Emerson, and so many others. Okay?
Pat Robertson isn't exactly a person to go to for truth. I mean, the man's insane.
I'd like to point out another good book to read if you want a little proof. How about 1984 by George Orwell?
That was a fantastic book.
Yeah. Have you not seen it come to life in the last 30 years?
And I've seen it come to life this year.
I got another one. What about the Illuminati card game that was banned in the United States in 1995?
I looked that up too. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, the Twin Tower destruction was on there.
Yeah.
The Pentagon being attacked was on there.
Barack Obama was on there. Alex Jones was on there. Ron Paul was on there. George Bush was on there, I believe.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so either people are really good guessers or had some kind of cryptic vision, or they had a little insight because they knew people who knew people and they knew the plan. I mean, the plan has been pretty relevant since the 1700s.
Well, the guy who made it is Steve Jackson.
Right, yes.
There are a number of popular songs and groups that wrote songs on the New World Order. One of them was Megadeth from the album 13. and also Gamma Ray wrote a song about the New World Order. There's so many of them.
Right. As a matter of fact, the theme to our show on NWO Truth Radio for last night's show is called While You Were Sleeping, but the theme song is Big Brother is Watching You.
Yeah.
So, the other argument, I'm sorry, Chris. Anything you want to add?
No, go on ahead with what you were saying.
Alright, so the next point that people will use, I think this is the best argument against it. How can you get all of these people to work together on one common goal that won't be realized in their lifetime, most likely?
Okay,
Well,
can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the answer is simple. I did a research on Google News archives. It goes into the newspapers up to the year, I think, 1700. And I looked for the term New World Order to see who's the first to come up with it. And the answer to your question is I found out that the Catholic Church, archbishops and popes from 1893, before World War I and World War II, were pushing for a New World Order, saying it's the only way to guarantee peace. Pope Benedict, when Obama became president, he went to the Vatican. I wonder why. Anyways, and the Pope Benedict says, and you can check on YouTube videos, we need a new world order, a new economic world order where wealth is distributed. Of course, they won't distribute the Catholic wealth, but everybody else's wealth.
all the poor people, you don't need your wealth.
Well,
go ahead.
Their net worth per year, as far as they can tell anyway, not with their relics and their idols and all of the gold that they own, but their net take-in is $2.2 billion. There are 2.2 billion Catholics on the planet. That's $1 for each Catholic.
Well, they have a lot more money than that.
So,
Right.
Because in lawsuits alone in the United States, they have like 50 or 60 billion dollars in liabilities for like the 10,000 priests that abused I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of children. So
but the
they're
question,
liable and they're So go ahead.
sorry, but the question I was asking was how come it, not how come it's taking so long, but how can you get all these people to work together on one common goal?
My answer was you order them through the Catholic Church. You tell them this is the way to go.
Okay,
And
I didn't make that connection. I apologize.
now there's another thing they do as well. I mean, you order them, but I mean, there's always the incentive. You know, what are you going to do for me if I do this? Well, then I'm going to take care of your family. You're going to have all the money you'll ever need. You're going to be treated like royalty. And as long as you follow orders, you know, you'll always have this. And there's no guarantee that it wouldn't happen in their lifetime.
That's
to be
true.
honest.
That's true, but I think they would have some insight on when it would be finalized.
Well, let's look at the opposite side of the coin on that. Why do we fight for something that may not happen in our lifetime?
So that the next generation, our kids, don't have to face this threat that we're facing.
You put that common goal out there. That's it, though. You see what I'm saying? You make it a common goal. Like-minded individuals come together. I don't believe that the Ku Klux Klan believed that they could turn the entire United States to a racist white country overnight. I figured they knew that it would take a long time. You have to fight standards and stipulations. But when it comes down to it, if you promise that my family, let's say I'm a Rothschild, you know, I'm not going to live forever, so I have children and I give it to them and they work toward that same goal. But I'm going to be, my name will live forever because I worked for this.
So it's a legacy. It's a legacy.
Go ahead.
No, it's a legacy thing. They just want to be remembered, basically.
Yeah, and they're brainwashed. They're born into it. That's what their parents did. That's what they do. Yeah, that's life for them. That's their everyday life.
Okay, that's the biggest argument against it, and the one I found most convincing overall. But you guys squashed the seed of doubt that was in me. So can we explain quickly what it is? What the New World Order is?
One government, one language, one tax, one law, one ruler, one currency, one religion.
Right, but I mean like the history of it.
The history of it. Well, let's put it this way. They wanted to dominate us and control us. The word government means to control the mind. It means mind control. That's what the origin of the word means. The government wanted to steer us in a certain direction, and to do that they have to remove some of our freedoms. They tried with Hitler to establish the Third Reich, and it failed. They tried to use force. But in Europe, he almost succeeded to get the New World Order. Now, this New World Order, initially, the next step is to establish the 5 rings of the Olympic flag, or the 5 regions. North America, South America, Europe, the European Union, the African Union, the Asian Union,
The American
and all these
Union.
rings together under one man. It's succeeding so far, and one proof of it that governments want it. First of all, they refuse to talk about it. Secondly, if you look on the YouTube videos of your governments talking about sovereignty, you will see they use the word enlightened. You see the word light isn't there, but enlightened means other things. It means lighter. It means less sovereignty.
So did you guys I'm sorry to interrupt you. I do that a lot.
Yes.
Did you did you see Obama's speech in Brussels recently?
I did not. I did happen to stomach through the 2 before that, but this last one I don't believe I was actually able to see it, and I just haven't brought myself to sit down.
He said something interesting. A big red flag for me. He said we all have to give up some freedom to see the New World Order we all want and put into effect.
This was his last speech?
Yeah, in Brussels.
You were awesome, Dylan. You were on top of it, brother. If you know what the link is, shoot it to me.
The leaders of the G20 countries are all saying the same thing. G20 is part of it.
I have to find it. It'll take me a minute, but...
no, you're fine. Just when you get off the show, man.
Well, I'll play the clip on the show if I can find it.
But, Mr. Henry, I got a question as well. Do you believe that right now the United States, or the North American Union, as they would like to have it, is really it's like an evil competition between the EU and the NAU to see who's going to get to dominate the world for these elitists, these puppeteers?
Well, the leader of the New World is already chosen, and he was chosen by Pope Benedict, and he was Obama. And he mentioned that in a speech. Now, the fact that we are entering the New World Order right now is that, I don't know if you've heard of the Constitution-free zone between our countries.
Yes, sir.
That's already a law. It's already into effect, which means that American troops, police, armed, can go into within 100 miles of the American-Canadian border and carry out missions with or without Canadian security assistance. Okay?
Wow.
Now, another fact is that they're uniting the armies as well, and they even have websites. And one of them is US Northcom. It's called US Northcom, Northern Command, .mil. And there are other sites relating to police security. So the soldiers of Canada, United States, and Mexico will all wear the same uniform. The process has started. And the police cars of the North American Union will all have a white background.
So I found the speech if you want me to play the clip.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, Mr. Henry, that's a good piece of information right there. That people should definitely be looking into this.
Agreed. Do you guys want me to play it?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. I like it. I like to hear it from the.
We stand together as inseparable allies, and I thank you for your wonderful hospitality. I have to admit, it is easy to love a country famous for chocolate and beer.
I can't find the exact second, so it's only 6 minutes long.
Leaders and dignitaries of the European Union, representatives of our NATO alliance, distinguished guests. We meet here at a moment of testing for Europe and the United States, and for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Throughout human history, societies have grappled with fundamental questions of how to organize themselves, the proper relationship between the individual and the state, the best means to resolve inevitable conflicts between states.
We can pick apart this speech if you want when it's over.
Here in Europe, through centuries of struggle, through war and enlightenment, repression and revolution, that a particular set of ideals began to emerge. The belief that through conscience and free will, each of us has the right to live as we choose. The belief that power is derived from the consent of the governed, and that laws and institutions should be established to protect that understanding. And those ideas eventually inspired a band of colonialists across an ocean. And they wrote them into the founding documents that still guide America today, including the simple truth that all men and women are created equal. But those ideals have also been tested here in Europe and around the world. Those ideals have often been threatened by an older, more traditional view of power. This alternative vision argues that ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign. Often, this alternative vision roots itself in the notion that by virtue of race or faith or ethnicity, some are inherently superior to others, and that individual identity must be defined by us versus them, or that national greatness must flow not by what people stand for, but what they are against. In so many ways, the history of Europe in the 20th century represented the ongoing clash of these two sets of ideas, both within nations and among nations. The advance of industry and technology outpaced our ability to resolve our differences peacefully. And even among the most civilized of societies on the surface, we saw a descent into barbarism. This morning at Flanders Field, I was reminded of how war between peoples sent a generation to their deaths in the trenches and gas of the First World War. And just 2 decades later, extreme nationalism plunged this continent into war once again, with populations enslaved and great cities reduced to rubble and tens of millions slaughtered, including those lost in the Holocaust. It is in response to this tragic history that in the aftermath of World War II, America joined with Europe to reject the darker forces of the past and build a new architecture of peace. Workers and engineers gave life to the Marshall Plan. Sentinels stood vigilant in a NATO alliance that would become the strongest the world has ever known. And across the Atlantic, we embraced a shared vision of Europe, a vision based on representative democracy, individual rights, and a belief that nations can meet the interests of their citizens through trade and open markets, a social safety net, respect for those of different faiths and backgrounds.
Okay, that's the clip that I had seen.
I just want to mention one thing in passing. I put you a link to another clip from our own Prime Minister, but I have a clip from every leader of the G20 countries saying exactly the same thing. Enlightened sovereignty and, lessen sovereignty. We have to sacrifice the sovereignty of our nations for the greater good of the world. Yeah, my eyes. For the greater good of the elite. Now,
Amen.
Amen.
I want to say one thing, too. What he did there is called beta testing. They do this a lot. International order taking the place of New World Order, getting his name out of the New World Order, forming an international order.
Well, that's essentially that's essentially just a rebranding. Anyone who already knows the name will say you're basically saying the same thing, just putting a different coat of paint on it.
Listen to me. We're not talking about children who have been raised in the brightest of schools. We're talking about the Common Core education.
That's fair.
Well, I'm saying.
No.
You're talking about children who don't process the fact of the difference, meaning the synonyms. They don't understand that. What they know is, oh, that New World Order stuff is dead. This is an international order. This is different.
It's no different, and really anyone who had a good education could probably figure that out from his statements.
And I also wanted to go into the old way of thinking. He described everything that he has done in his presidency as something somebody else did somewhere else.
Yeah,
I mean, do you agree?
Even if you like what the NSA did, that's very hypocritical of him to say. Extremely hypocritical. So I thought that speech was pretty dangerous, because do you agree that they're just putting it out in the open now? They don't even care about hiding it. It's out there.
Well, that's because they have these things in place, like the Patriot Act, the NDAA. These things are in place for a reason. Act a fool now if you want to.
Well, do you think with everything that they're telling the public now, they may just be looking for a reaction at this point?
Yeah, I think they are looking for a reaction from us, from the public. I think they want the public to, not a bad reaction, I think they want the public to come out in support of it, as sadly many people have come out in support of it.
And I think the exact opposite. I think that they want us to shoot first so they can justify their actions.
That would not surprise me.
All it would take is one nut to screw us all over.
Yeah, and they hire these nuts to go in and act like one of us, pull a gun out and start shooting at the officers. They enact martial law and they keep you in your house. You act a fool, they lock you up in a FEMA camp. That's the beginning. We are in, like Mr. Henry said, we are in the beginning. These things are already happening.
I think they will come, they will be made evident. There's a deadline. I believe it's August 2014. And here's my reasoning for it. I gave you a link to the Vatican's website, Coat of Arms of Pope Benedict, for the first time in 1100 years, there appears the face of a man on the coat of arms of a pope. And it's a black man from Africa. And he has a red crown. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Obama came to the Vatican to see the Pope, I remember that when Pope Benedict talked about the New World Order, the new economic order, and introduced the best man for the job was Obama, he put out his coat of arms and a huge, huge banner under his window where he makes his papal address. Okay? Now, there are different other symbols on this coat of arms. I don't want to go into the depth of those, but now furthermore, subsequent to that, on several occasions, Barack Obama refers to himself as God. Okay?
I haven't seen those. Can you link me to those?
Yeah, I'll give it to you right now. Here's one of them. Here's the first one that you'll most likely remember. This man thinks he's God. Now, I will show you, I'll share the link, but I want you to look at the flag, the two flags behind him as he mentions the word, I am God, because the stars on the flags of the United States are pointing downwards. That is the sign to Satan, okay?
Oh,
now, I'll give you the link.
And one point to make about that video, okay. I'm gonna get people who watch this that don't understand it, who will say, "Oh, that's just an audio dubbing." No, it's not. It's been on many what the regular people will call the real news. It's on the real news. It's not an overdubbing.
This is on ABC News. Yeah, I found you a 40-second clip of it, so if you want to play that one.
I'm talking about his speech in Brussels, but
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
But this man.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Even though the earth be removed, though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though its waters roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with its swelling, be still and know that I am God.
This man is so arrogant.
He says it 3 times, and Masonic code, he repeats the same thing 3 times. And
well,
by the way, when he became president, I don't know if you remember the ceremony about him in the Bible.
I watched the ceremony in my 5th grade, history class. I don't remember that part. My memory is terrible.
He didn't swear on the Bible. He didn't. He swore on a different Bible, and that was not revealed to the public.
But to make a statement,
His hand on with
I wanted to say something about the Brussels speech, because people are going to say, "Oh, that's just an overdubbing." No, it's not. Trust me. I check all these things before I'll bring them to the public. That's not an overdubbing. He said that, and I showed you most of the speech there, so it's not like I could have taken him out of context. So, Sylvan, you said you believe August is the big day, but you never really you went to Pope Benedict before you could explain what it was.
There is a code 555. 555 is a very, very popular code for those who know architecture. For instance, it is the exact height from the surface to the top of the Washington Monument. It is exactly 555 feet. The width is 55.5 feet. The length is 55.5 feet at the bottom. And 55.5 plus 55.5 plus 555 is 666. Now, 555, I just give you another point. It was Hitler's membership number in the National Socialist Party. 555, there again. Is this all coincidence? There's no coincidence when it comes to politics. There's no coincidence when it comes to international political events. For instance, okay, the Gulf of Mexico BP oil disaster happened on Hitler's birthday. And now, I don't know if you remember, but Hitler's birthday this year happened to be Easter Sunday. Yeah. Now, August will be the first month in 823 years that will have 5 Fridays, 5 Saturdays, and 5 Sundays.
I'm checking that now. Again, yeah, you're right.
Yes?
Yeah, I was just checking it to make sure.
Right, and this month had 5 Saturdays as well, too. So we're getting close to the time. Let's keep in mind that the Department of Homeland Security is not going to be, has ordered not only munitions, weapons,
mine-resistant tanks, food supplies, water supplies.
But the thing is, the food supplies they've ordered have been delivered to them, and they won't last forever. They're not going to last another year. See what I mean?
I think so. Sylvan, it's piqued my curiosity. What do you think will happen?
Well, okay, let's think for a second. FEMA, which was an invention of the Club of Rome, okay, which was is very much involved in depopulation and different kinds of scenarios. It created FEMA. Many people might know that FEMA is stacking coffins, making camps. Why? Why are all these camps built, staffed, now staffed? You don't staff an empty prison, empty prison complex system. There's over 600 of them without having people going inside. They will be serviced.
Well,
you don't build a prison that you don't intend to fill up.
Well, they've used it before, if you recall.
When?
Twice in the past 60 years. Once last October during Hurricane Sandy, they used these places to shelter the people who lost their homes in Hurricane Sandy. And one other time, which is actually bad, in World War II, after we had bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, FDR ordered the internment of all Japanese Americans.
Do you know what the capacity is of all those camps?
Probably 100,000 each.
Millions. All 600, over millions. Several million. Why?
Well, the argument would be... actually, I can't think of a very good argument. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, but there are only so many things I can stretch.
You know, whenever the Americans deploy equipment somewhere, they always use it. It's been my experience. Whenever they sent ship over in the Middle East, they used them.
Did you know that the United States shipped many troops and supplies over to Poland recently?
Oh yes, in the Eastern Bloc, yes.
Very recently, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's funny that the battle is supposed to be in Ukraine, and yet 5 countries in the Eastern Soviet Bloc which are NATO allies right now, have been supplemented with all kinds of Patriot missiles and so on. The intention is clear. It's not to protect Ukraine. The intention is a possible attack against Russia.
Oh, I think that's exactly what they're gearing up for, and I think anyone who doubts that, with the information we've just presented, either doesn't want to believe it, or just doesn't care. They're the only people who will say, oh, they're not going to do that. It's not possible.
I fully believe that they're gearing up for war.
I think it's entirely possible and entirely likely.
And I also believe that it's over, not the Ukraine in any kind of way. Russia, China, Iran, and 10 other countries all met this month to talk about switching from the petrodollar to a gold-backed petro-ruble.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how we've connected these dots? They're buying all this ammunition. They're gearing up they're surrounding Russia with troops and supplies. They've prepared all the supplies here. They have prison camps, and the dollar is being devaluated. But I'm sure those are all just coincidences.
But they think they've got everything figured out, but they haven't. Because they're relying that the American troops will obey orders, and they're wrong. I know a lot of veterans. I was invited to speak in a debate with some politicians, New York City. It was a veterans show.
And you didn't take up the opportunity?
I took it. I won the argument.
What were you debating?
I was debating. What?
You were just about to answer my question. I apologize.
Okay. Anyways, this was a veterans show, and I was debating. I think his name was David John, something like that. He is the speechwriter for the two Bushes. I was debating against him.
Well, that man
and we had a 1 hour.
That man needs to learn how to write better speeches.
They don't write their own speeches. Come on.
No, the writer.
You think what?
No, the guy who writes the speech needs to learn how to be a better writer.
And that's another product of the devaluation of American education. You don't have elegant speechwriters anymore. You have wannabes. Compared to the old speeches, the grand speeches, the ones that go down in history, we haven't had a president deliver one of those ever. Not in my lifetime. And I never really considered Reagan the president because George Bush ran it behind his back the whole time. He was a figurehead.
Reagan?
Yeah, I don't consider Reagan the president. He was the reader of the teleprompter.
Oh, so he was like the news media.
Yeah, he was a figurehead for the country while George Bush Sr. ran behind the scenes and orchestrated the arms deal with Iran that Ollie North had to take the blame for.
So, all this does tie back to the New World Order, whether you can see the connection or not.
Well, when you tie back to Reagan to the New World Order, you have Bush Sr., who, when he became president in 1988 and 1990, when he delivered the speech of the New World Order speech, where he flat out said, "And we are working hard."
Did you see
it's in our grasp.
Did you see whose speech was it? There was a statement by the head of the Bilderberg Group. Did you read that statement?
No, I have not.
It was a long time ago, but the statement was, to say we are forming a one-world government is slightly exaggerated, but not wholly untrue.
Right. Okay. Yes, I have read that. I thought you meant there was something new.
No, I don't even know who it was that made that quote. I just know he was the head of the group. So
it's not entirely untrue, and the reason at that time when that was given is because even the powerful elite struggle over power with each other.
Yeah, and that's the question I had asked at the beginning. How can they work together when they're all egomaniacs?
Well, they have to work together because if so-and-so owns all the oil and you own all the whatever, you have to work with them. You have to continue making money. If everybody decided to stop paying for things, then you'd be broke. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
So
we decided we're only going to trade in acorns from now on.
That would be a little funny, honestly.
It would be entirely plausible, and it would
Yeah.
cancel out gold, silver, dollar, petrol, ruble, all that.
Oh, I
Only
know.
a-
I was just trying to make a joke. But
Hi. Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Two people are fighting. One fought the New World Order back 2,000 years ago, and that was Spartacus. And one is actually doing it right now, and he's not getting any media attention, and he's very approachable, and I think you should contact him. That's Bobby Kennedy Jr. He lives in New York State, upper New York State. He's standing up for protecting the quality of the water, and he's against vaccinations.
Absolutely.
So
after what they did to his dad and granddad, I would be against them too.
But the story of the New World Order actually began with a Greek. He thought he was a god. He thought he was a sun god, and that was Alexander the Great.
Yes.
The story of the New World Order started actually with him. Now, he wanted to marry different empires. So he actually moved. He was the emperor of Greece, but he moved to Egypt, and he established himself in Alexandria, where his body remains today. Two other people representing two other empires met and made a baby right in front of his tomb, and that was Julius Caesar, representing the Roman Empire, and Cleopatra. Julius was married at the time, but he thought he was a son of God too. Another sun god, and of course everybody knows that Cleopatra thinks that she was Isis. Yes. Not the daughter of Isis, but she was Isis herself. Now, these people, thinking they're gods, they make a baby, and his name was Caesarion. Okay? Now, anyways, I don't want to throw... The rest is all theories that I have, but I'd rather not go into theories. I'd rather stick with facts. But there's a man who came about shortly after, and his name was... He was a Thracian slave who did a stint in the Roman army, so he had some knowledge of the Roman army. And they put him in a gladiator camp. And this is all historical. And inside this camp, he just thought for a second, he said, and you should definitely watch the movie with Kirk Douglas, not the new stuff. It loses the message completely. And just the old one, I think it's 1959, but it's in color. It's spectacular.
So,
Now, I'll make a long story short. He said, oh my God, look at this. We're in a gladiator camp. We're slaves. But one of us gladiators is worth 5 Roman soldiers. So he convinced his fellow inmates or gladiators, let's escape from this gladiator school where we're slaves, and let's go in the forest somewhere. And they did. And at night what they did is they went in villages and they asked the slaves there, do you want to be free? And if so, come and join us. And you can either cook for us or do carpentry or actually become a soldier. We'll teach you how to become a gladiator. He raised an army of 200,000 that way, and Rome was scared because he actually went up and started marching against Rome itself. So this slave almost destroyed the New World Order.
Yeah, and for his trouble, he was crucified upside down.
That's right.
I'm not really familiar with the story. But what's the movie called?
Spartacus.
Okay.
You have to watch it. It must be online somewhere.
Oh yeah, excellent. You can go to footlocker.bz and find it and watch it for free.
So it can be done, but what we require is we have to attract people of courage like Robert Kennedy. The Kennedys were always people of courage. They always told the truth. They're the ones who denounced them, and Eisenhower, John and his brother Bobby. They denounced the New World Order. They got killed for it.
Eisenhower was a puppet.
No, I agree with you, but he admitted, Eisenhower, that the New World Order, he's the first one to use the term military-industrial complex.
Yep.
And he was afraid of them.
I would be if I were in his position too.
Yeah.
Whether sought or unsought, these people have infiltrated our system.
Right.
Amen. So, James.
No. Yeah.
I wanted to bring up a quick point. I know you're good at this. The bloodline connection. I believe it was you who was telling me about the bloodlines. Can you explain that and how it is relevant?
Well, it's not my. Sorry, I put a cracker in my mouth as soon as you said my name.
Hey, you're eating food without me?
Right? That was one cracker.
Not cool, James.
Well, it's not my specialty by any means. But these bloodlines, and that's why there's 13 families, 13 different bloodlines that basically rule the world. A Canadian girl figured out that every United States president that has ever been president has been related in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That right there is proof, in my eyes, that in this empire, the bloodlines are connected, which means we are corrupt. These bloodlines go back to England, a lot, European, all these old empires were all ran by these 13 bloodlines. And it's still true to this day. I mean, at least in America. Now, I haven't done the Pope's bloodline by any means, but I'm sure it's quite sacred. The Queen, as we know, a lot of them used to marry other, within their families. They would merge families and then marry within families, just to keep the bloodline sacred. I mean, these people have always taken their bloodline very sacred.
So
they don't just go out and share it with anyone. These people are still into the set-up marriages. Okay, well, you're going to marry so-and-so, and that's going to join our family, and that way we can make money with them and continue to rule the world, and now we rule both fields.
So, Chris, you haven't had much to say. Do you have anything you want to add?
Nope.
Do you have any questions?
Not really. Like, I start getting questions, but I don't like interrupting people. But they just sort of get answered while they're talking.
Okay, well, if you have a question, just let me know, or just let one of them know that you want to ask a question.
Well, I mean,
Just
I can't really ask anything. These guys know everything about what they're talking about. I mean, they cover everything.
Yeah, that's
open. Jeez, guys.
Chris, that's the point. They do know everything.
Yeah, I know.
They know everything about it, so they're the people to ask the questions to. If you have any, just let me know.
Continue.
I am looking at that coat of arms that you put up. Yeah, this has a lot of biblical reference here. The bear defeats the eagle. These are prophetic things.
Right.
That is a bear, it looks like, anyway. It looks like a big brown bear.
Well, James, the church is biblical, so of course they'd have biblical prophecy on there.
Well, I mean, it goes to prove the point, is what I'm saying. It goes to prove the point that all of this is connected to some evilness. All of this is setting itself up. These people have been working since the inception of civilization, like Mr. Henry said, Alexander the Great, 3,000 years BC. These people have been working toward a one-world government. Yes, it has taken an awful long time, but if you believe in the way that I believe, you can't do anything other than in God's time. So no matter how long Satan has to work to put his seat up as the throne and the king of this world to denounce who God truly is and say that he is God, then we're not that. I don't understand how you can look at something when they go biblical and put it right here in front of you when you can pick the Bible up and read it and say, oh my goodness, there's a lot of connection here to the end of the world and what these people are doing.
Well, people can do it. People just choose not to. I don't get it, but that's how they think. People think, oh, it's probably not going to happen in my lifetime, so I don't have to worry about it. That's how people think about everything now. If it's not an immediate danger, they don't care. So,
Fellas, I have used up the time that I have. I'm very sorry to have to leave you in the middle of such a great conversation, but I do.
James, do you want to do another part tomorrow?
Yes, that'd be wonderful. Maybe about the same time. Mr. Henry, if we are not friends and you have a Facebook account, my name is James Impending Revelation. Real quick, I want to throw a plug out there if I can. Tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Impending Revelation radio show on Blog Talk Radio. We are talking about the Masonic Bible tonight. I would love anyone to join in. Links will be posted in every group and on every page that I can possibly get. If you're not my friend, you can get with Dylan and have him friend suggest us. I would love to continue a little bit of this tonight if y'all are ready and willing. Just contact me and I will give you all the information. Dylan, I want to thank you for having me on, brother.
James, thank you for coming on. You're an expert on this stuff.
Well, I do appreciate the civility between everyone. I love to talk about these things. It gets my blood going. But you have all been very gracious and very informative, and I thank you. I'll take my leave on that right there.
So, James, we will do part 2 tomorrow, and I will see you then. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
No problem.
See you later.
All right, brother. Mr. Henry, always a pleasure.
Same here. Bye, James.
All right. So there are a few things that I wanted to talk about. If Sylvan, are you very knowledgeable about Monsanto?
Monsanto is a corporation that produces genetically modified seeds, and they're trying to they have the monopoly in America. In the United States, it's 2 other companies that have the monopoly for genetically modified seeds. And they primarily, for instance, corn in the United States, I believe, is all 90% genetically modified, thanks to their great marketing team. Beets and I believe now alfalfa and soy, and anyways, a number of crops which people should not buy anymore are genetically modified. Monsanto does not share information about the safety of their products.
Actually, they did do one study on it, and the ruling was actually interesting. The ruling said it's unfit for human consumption.
There you go. Now, I believe this is connected to a depopulation agenda, because hamsters fed on only genetically modified corn and vegetables like that, after 5 or 6 generations, they are sterile.
It's possible, and I think there's a very good chance that a very bad chance, but you know what I mean, that what you're saying is true. And
Now,
what's their connection to this, do you think? Besides that one point.
They just want money, and they don't care about us. They will sue us to push their, their product, which is unfit for human, even animal, ingestion.
And that was scientist ruling. It's amazing.
Now, Russia has banned, not only has Russia banned genetically modified foods, Anybody promoting it is considered now a terrorist, according to a new law. Mexico has rightly made a choice to ban all genetically modified corn, because imagine Mexicans who can't export their tortillas anymore. I mean, that would just destroy them. So they've made that choice. Europe is banning, and everywhere that is banning their product, they're being sued by this company.
France,
This company,
Poland,
yeah, and they're so insecure.
Hawaii.
They're so afraid of the people that they've bought some security forces, armed security forces, to protect them, as if the police wasn't enough.
No. Here it's not. I don't know about anywhere else, but...
In India, they are responsible for the suicides, perhaps even the deaths, I don't know, but the suicides of many Indian farmers.
Did you... Sylvan, have you heard about the trail of, dead bankers in the past year?
Yeah.
Oh, do you think there's any significance to that? 20 dead.
These people are probably whistleblowers. They are not following, they're not towing the party line, and rather than to risk, either these people are committing suicide or they're murdered.
Well,
One of them committed suicide by shooting himself with a nail gun 8 times in the head. Now, I think after the 3rd or 4th time, I would stop.
But
What do you think?
Probably. I've never felt a nail gun, but I think
Well, the point is he was murdered. That's my point.
did you hear about the chief lawyer for J.P. Morgan? He was an executive, one of the highest guys. And he was hit by a minivan and was sent 110 feet and had one of his legs blown off. That doesn't sound like a minivan.
You know, no, definitely not. There are people there who love money above everything else. And some people, they have so much money, they want something else. They want power. They've got money, they're getting bored with it. They want power, they want control, they want domination. These people are sick in the head.
Agreed.
They need therapy as soon as possible, and hopefully they'll have therapy before the people wake up, because, my God, these people won't end up in jails. They'll be placed in zoos, man.
No, they'll be placed in hell.
In where?
In hell. They'll end up getting killed. I don't advocate violence, but we all know that's the end result.
Yeah.
All these guys who are doing this are going to wind up dead.
Yeah. Well, one of them's in prison. His name is Bernie Madoff.
One got executed.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's in Iran. They don't execute the pirates here in the United States and Canada. They give them a plush... the only reason why Bernie Madoff was found guilty, because he was like Robin Hood. Actually, he stole from the rich. Because people who steal from the poor in the United States, they don't go to jail.
I thought I'd bring up a story that plays off of that. There was a 17-year-old kid who managed to steal $3,900 from Walmart. He posed as a general manager and was let into their cash room alone. But, yeah, he got convicted of 3 life sentences.
That's ridiculous. You know, I don't know if you remember Rumsfeld after 9/11. Remember what he said was missing?
I don't remember it. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah.
Can you...
he said several $1 trillion were missing.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
No. These are probably all just coincidences.
Oh yeah. It's, just make some more, increase taxes. You know, I mean, these pirates must be singing all kinds of songs in their parties. Can you imagine the parties they have? You know. Here, you want $1 trillion? You know, $1 trillion. I can't even count to 1 trillion.
I don't even want to try it. It'll take too long.
couldn't even spend it.
But I'm sure all these different events that are seemingly linked are just coincidences. I mean, it's silly to think that this would ever happen. It's like something out of a movie. Keep telling yourself that. I wish I had that optimism.
No, I think brave people like you, are going to be turning this around.
Sylvan, count yourself in that too. You helped me get this show up. I wouldn't even have a single live viewer if it weren't for me guesting on your shows and guesting on James's shows. I wouldn't even have one listener, let alone 4.
Well, you are quite unique with your limitations of age and so on. You know,
the physical
you don't
limitations.
Care. Go right ahead and do it.
The physical limitations too.
And, yeah, I mean,
I don't think I've ever touched on that on the show.
Well, that's up to you, but I believe that there's no disability for a person who has a fighting spirit.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to get a lot of people from my school to listen, but for the people that don't know me personally, I am pretty much a paraplegic. I can't really move very well at all. I can't walk. I can't pick things up. I can't do very much. So I just sit on here and talk. It's fun.
All right. Well, that's what the world needs.
People to talk.
People to hear Dylan talk, and you and your buddy, your co-host Chris. I mean,
he's very silent.
You're starting a trend here, man.
Chris, are you still here? Did we lose you?
No, I'm still here.
I mean, you guys are changing the world. I mean, you guys are the future. I mean, look, I'm getting close to 60, and my time as a gladiator, I might have 10 good years left. But you know, you young people, I mean, you don't have to worry about taxes. You don't have to worry about kissing 5 babies at night and a girlfriend, and you know, don't have to worry about mortgages and this and this and that. I mean, you're free.
Well, some of that's true, but
what? You got kids?
No.
Oh man,
that's
Chris
the
is.
part that isn't true.
Oh, Chris is a dad. That would. Chris, I know you too well. You would. No, you would end up running away or killing one of them.
No.
I know you too well. You wouldn't survive that. But I hope we can do something. I don't want to have to deal with this for the rest of my life. I want it to be over.
I think our window is up to August. That's my opinion.
I hope, Sylvan, I hope you're wrong.
I certainly hope so too.
Because I want to be able to change it. 2 months won't be enough time to change it. We don't have that long.
Why not?
Oh, we have 3 months. That's not enough.
You know, I told you the story. Back in '84, I started a revolution in my province. 4 days, man, I got 65,000 people. And we won. You know, the premier of our province says, okay, so man, what do you want? And so it's not time. It's spirit. It's desire. It's creativity. I mean, your tests are almost over now. Like 3 weeks, you guys will be, you know, getting ready for the beach and suntan lotion. You know.
I'm in school for another month.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll have a free month.
Yeah.
And imagine stuff you can do in that time, but you got to do stuff that's safe, sound.
Sure. I don't leave the house anyway. I don't like the beach.
Yeah. You know, start a dialogue with teenagers, man. I mean, start a club. Invite friends to your house, man. Why don't you broadcast with your friends all around you?
Because they'll think I'm crazy. I mean, Chris thought I was crazy when I first went on, when we first started talking about this.
You know, I mean, take out the Kool-Aid, man, or whatever it is you got teenagers drink these days.
I don't know. I drink milk.
I think Kool-Aid Man's like 90s or yeah, it's a while ago.
Okay, Tang or Swing or whatever it is that you guys drink.
Oh man, this is funny.
I don't know what teenagers drink these days. I just
You
know
have-
what my son drinks because
I
he
drink
has-
Fruit and Coke all the time.
I drink
Yeah.
milk all the time.
Can you imagine? I mean, you bring him to your living room, you set up your broadcasting mic, you have a nice mic, and you ask your friends, okay, well, who wants to come to the mic now? And then, express your opinion. This could be party time like every night.
It's a possibility. People don't typically come over during the school week, but I have been trying to get a few people to come over. Believe it or not, I don't have that many friends.
Well, that's going to change.
I have
Well-
a lot of people who know me, but I don't even know half of them.
I, for one, the people that I hang out with, they definitely wouldn't do this. They would rather do other things with their time.
Well, yeah, they got it. They got disinterested after 3 shows.
Well,
You make friends.
it was actually after the Billy Hayes one.
Is it because I called that guy stupid for asking if his sperm would be hurt by HAARP?
Are you kidding me? I called him stupid for half an hour.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me. But
So-
I'll try to get a few of them to come on. I know a few that
Have
are
a debate with
open-minded.
them. Yeah, have a debate with them. That's, whatever it is, turn it into a party, man. I mean, order some pizza. Have it a pizza night.
I want pizza.
I don't really want pizza right now. I had a burger, but I get what you're saying, Sylvan.
Yeah.
It could be a potluck supper too.
What's that?
It has nothing to do with pot. It means everybody.
I don't
brings
wanna-
a dish.
I don't want to do that anyway.
You know, I actually like having that potluck thing. That's a very good idea.
I've never tried it. I'll have to check it
It's-
out.
It's literally a bunch of people just bring a dish and you just mix it all together. Well, like not literally, but you just sort of pick and choose from each person's dish, and they're nice.
Well, I'll have to do that. We'll have a little bit of that, and we'll jump on the show and debate.
Yeah, why not? It could be fun. It doesn't have to be all serious, like you can
Oh,
have a
yeah.
girl that gives you a neck massage and sings opera while she gives you a neck massage. I don't know.
How do you
Yeah,
make
but-
How do you make this stuff comedic?
Well, you know, you gotta remember, Dylan. There was one thing I did that wasn't very serious. Remember when I was bored and I just sort of started freestyling that rap about chemtrails and stuff?
Yeah, that was good up until you started about Russians and black and gay people. It was pretty good up until then.
Well, I listened to a lot of different rap, and I just sort of started steering in that direction. Anyway, I wrote down some of the lines I said, and it's actually not bad. I'm looking at what I wrote down right now.
Why don't you do it on air?
When?
Now.
Right now?
We need airtime for another 50 minutes. Yes, please.
How do you feel, Sylvan? Are you into rap?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about it. Go ahead. Yeah, do your rap thing.
Oh,
Wrap it, man. Wrap it up.
I don't.
Sorry to ambush
I
you.
will. It's just tired. I just gotta get my beat and stuff.
I'm sorry I ambushed you.
Yeah, that was out of the blue.
You need another 10 minutes?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
We
but
can hold
30
out.
Seconds.
We can hold out for another 10 minutes if you really need it.
No, I don't. There, I already got the beat. Although I'm gonna have to unplug my headset so you can hear the beat.
Okay.
I'm plugging it right now. Alright, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear an echo?
No.
Alright, tell me how this sounds. Tell me if you can hear the beat. Hold on.
Did you play it?
I have my browser muted.
I can hear it
And it's-
kinda. Just sounds like static though.
Actually, that's an airplane going over my house.
Oh. Is it a chemtrail airplane? Because that would
I
be
don't-
funny.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
What was it nice and clear?
Um,
Here, I'll play it again.
it's good enough. Go ahead.
As long as you can hear the main beat part. Like I said, this was on the spot. I didn't really have time to practice or anything.
Go ahead. The worst that's gonna happen. The worst that's gonna happen is people don't like it. I mean.
And I'll mess up, and then everyone will hate me, and I'll be the world's famous. I'm joking. All right, here we go. All right, so people ignore what people say these days about conspiracy. That's why I'm doing this. Have you ever noticed the difference in a sky? Have you ever experienced the impact of the lies? There was a place I visited, it was a field of flowers, but now it's just plain and sour as it's just getting devoured. People say movement groups in time just fail. They get ignored once they talk about HAARP chemtrails. It stirs up with the government and all of their security, so people don't listen what's said about the conspiracy. It has been proven beyond the physical proof that we gain that the world is chemicals being dropped in rain like the clouds of strain. Chemicals on all of us are being stained with the pain and not knowing that there's no gain. I'm sure somewhere around us the government lurks. Go ahead, just try to stop the truth that hurts. Hide all the work from the Truth Speaks network. I guarantee that it still won't work.
That was
After
good.
being acknowledged as a teen truther, I feel like I was promoted to telling others on the topic and being devoted on explaining on how the clouds were coded. Let's plug up more 1 sec.
Sure.
Everything the government has hidden makes me want to hurl. With the help of the youth, we can change the world. Help all the people who live in the urban and rural. If you listen to this, you want to share your piece, you're welcome to come and join us on The Truth Speaks. Better than the mass media. The media today is still full of lies. They keep on talking. I begin to despise. I want to know the one who's in charge. Look me straight in the eye. Tell me that they aren't real. Tell me chemtrails aren't real. They don't use HAARP and use it to steal information that quickly loses its appeal, and when they use it for the next, it's just simply unreal. Don't even get me started on the world order. When people get power, turn into hoarders. Yeah, so this rap song may have lyrics left and right, but as long as this is up, I will continue to fight. If I stop, then yeah, indeed I am a loser. That's why I'll sit here and continue to be the teen truther. I just sort of added that last part. I don't know. I felt it was too short.
Hey, it's good, man.
That's fantastic. Wow.
At some point, I'll make a real one. That I actually
Yeah,
put
please
point-
do. I want to use it as my opening.
Like, I just sort of did that and recorded, and I just wrote down what I was saying, and I was like, oh, it's not bad. Because I'm not good at sitting down and writing a song, but I just do it on the spot, and I make it up as I go.
I wish I had your
that's
talent, man.
what?
I wish I had your talent. That was beautiful.
It took a lot of practice to be able to make it up on the spot.
Oh.
Yeah, that was good, man. I enjoyed that. So
Hey, have that luck supper, man. And you know what? Do you have a friend who has a projector you can connect to a laptop?
I used to have a projector.
Actually, I have a USB port that can project whatever I do onto the TV next to me.
Yeah. I use that. I like in my basement in my other house, back on base in the PMQs. In the basement, we had a projector and a great big white screen that we had up. Well, I'm Canadian, so we usually just use it for hockey games, but yeah, but it was pretty cool. That would definitely be something that I would have liked to use, but we gave it away once we moved.
You know what I discovered? Man, you're going to flip over this. I have a projector. You buy a bed sheet for king size, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a big window, like especially in front of your house or your apartment, you put the bed sheet in front of the window, and you project on it some truther videos. Now, you see it on both sides of the screen. The people walking outside on the street, they see it. It's like a living billboard. And I used to project to my friends inside. The people would walk by. They'd ring my doorbell and said, "Today, can I come and see the movie?" And actually, I did that at coffee shops. And you wouldn't believe it. Even the police would come by and would park their cars there and wonder, "Hey, man, what's going on here?"
When it was like displayed, was it reversed?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't see any words or anything, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, it's reversed on the other side. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, can you have that rap recorded for me in a couple?
Oh my God, Dylan.
No, seriously, in a couple days. I want to use it as my opening.
Oh, I don't want to use that one. I'd rather write a new one because that one sucks compared to what I can do.
All right, write a new one then. Really.
Then again, I'm too lazy at the same time. I might just edit that one.
Do it, Chris. Do what you want. Send it to me. I don't care how you get to that point. Just
music is a piece of art. It can't simply be rushed.
I'm not saying to rush it. I'm saying do what you want. Send it to me when you're ready.
All right.
But Sylvan, are there any other people or any other families or corporations connected to the New World Order?
All I know is that it's multinational corporations. If you want to see the breakdown, the outline, or the details of the New World Order, ask for a copy of the free trade agreement of your country with another country. You will not be able to view it. They will show you an outline of it, but they will never send you the official document. All I know is it's multinational corporations and so big pharma, big agriculture, big mines, big, and government.
Monsanto, Google, Facebook, all of them. Another question I had, Sylvan. Have you seen the Trans-Pacific Partnership?
No.
You haven't heard of that?
No. Yeah. I haven't seen the details of it. I know what it's about. It's a horrible thing.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. The only people that have come out against it, though, are 4 Republicans, and most of the Democrats have come out against it. It's amazing how sometimes these guys will stand side to side with the New World Order, and then other times they'll go completely against it. I don't understand it.
Well, Cynthia McKinney is a girl that she's used to be a congresswoman. She's against the New World Order. You should have her on your show. I met with her in person in Canada, in Ottawa, and had a long talk with her. She's American.
Was that one of your blind dates?
No, she's not blind at all. She could actually see me. She's still like me. Yeah, blind dates are good for, they don't say no to me. I'm just kidding. No, but talking about dates, imagine teenage truthers if they started dating each other, and then in the future they marry each other and they make, teen truther babies, like the Teen Titans,
Oh, man, I needed some humor in this one.
Just a thought, and the whole world would be full of these people.
Sylvan?
What?
You are great comic relief, but you have great ideas at the same time.
Well, actually, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was serious.
Really? I know you were serious.
Yeah.
I know you were serious. I just thought what you said was a little funny for me, especially.
Why for you especially? Wouldn't you like to have a nice teenage truther girlfriend?
Not something I've ever given thought to, honestly.
Well, consider it next time, you're You're learning about the New World Order.
I'm still learning. I don't know very much.
Why don't you create a site, like a Facebook site for teenage truthers?
I did.
Oh.
I did. I added a few people to it. None of them, except for myself, are teenagers. But
well, I think we should maybe make like an actual website.
oh, Chris,
I mean, I don't really want to do it because I just spent all day building one, but maybe in a little while.
I was about to say, Chris, you're good at making websites.
Well, the provider that I usually use, the free one, because you know, teens usually not a job. Anyway, the free one that I use, they just sort of went to crap. They dropped like half of their services. You have to pay for them.
Hmm.
You can't even add HTML now.
Oh.
Really? I had to use HTMLs last year.
Yeah, but I would be like, I want to put in a widget or something, and nope, not anymore.
So
You can start a WordPress page.
Sylvan, I had a question
Good.
for you.
What?
You have guests call into your show a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, how do they call in? Because I know you use the Google Plus YouTube Live Hangout.
Yeah.
So how do they call in?
I don't do live hangouts.
You do live shows.
I do live shows, but not using Hangouts.
How do you broadcast to YouTube without doing a Hangout?
Wirecast. I use Wirecast.
Never even heard of that.
Oh, well, it's a good thing. It's quite complex. But it's free.
Well then.
I might look into that.
It's more powerful than Hangouts. You got more options.
Does it allow you to show what's on your screen while you're streaming?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that would be very useful then.
Agreed.
Just, all you need is to have a YouTube account in good order with YouTube and 100 subscribers, and you're in business. It's free.
Well, I don't have 100 subscribers yet.
No, it'll take 4 days.
I think I have an old account that had like 300 and some subscribers. I don't know. I gave up on that one though. I might have deleted it.
But
Well, you can start off.
you need 100. So we just
If
gotta.
you just want to have your own Wirecast channels using YouTube Live, let me know, and I'll get you the subscribers to subscribe to you. I've done it for a few friends. We're like 10 or 12 right now. Broadcast.
Yeah, it's fine. I got a dedicated server. I can make like 99 accounts.
There you go.
No, I'm joking. You know how long that would take?
Yeah.
Actually, I can't even make any more Gmail addresses. I've already made too many.
Oh, yeah?
There's a limit on Gmail?
Well, you know, I usually use Gmail for Google Plus and then with YouTube, but I can't do that anymore because every time I go to do it, it asks me to confirm by phone, and then it says that I've used the phone too many times.
Oh.
In fact, it's not even a phone. I get them to text my iPod. I have a free service on there.
So Wirecast lets the guests call in?
You can do everything. It's professional. Yeah.
Awesome. I think we're nearing our 100 subscribers.
Whoa, where did that come from?
What?
100 subscribers.
Yeah, I think we're getting there. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm checking right now. See what we got.
Subscribers.
We have 14. We're good to go.
Well then.
It's okay. We just reached enough views if it were 100 views.
No, we have about
252.
Yeah, we have a decent amount of views. Sylvan, you have your 24-hour radiothon coming up, right?
Yep.
May 31st, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm in. Chris, are you in?
Yeah, I've agreed to be in that for like a week and a half now.
Oh, I guess I just
Great.
wasn't in that call. But yeah, we'll help you out because
Thanks.
you say the show is going to be big too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Let's
do
see if
want
we
to
can
help
hit an
out.
average of 75 viewers. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would.
Well, the last show I hit up to 110 at one point.
Who'd you have to pay? Oh, I'm joking.
No, it's when I had the pilot.
Yeah,
Actually,
was a-
I remember that. That was great. You had a lot of people there.
I listened to that one. That was a good show, dude.
I kept zoning out.
I,
But yeah, I kept seeing that view count. Like, oh, wow, 15 viewers. Nice. Oh, 20. Instantly jumped up to 40, 65. That was great.
I wish I was able to come on, man. I was close. I just didn't have my headset correct.
Yeah, Sylvain was like, all right, you're going up. I'm like, I have nothing to say. Do you know how many people just ask questions?
Well, you can say whatever you feel. You don't have to know everything, you know. You just say what you feel.
If you had to know everything to go on radio, I wouldn't have a show. I wouldn't have a show right now because I know very little compared to get.
Look at all the people with PhDs, man. They say diddly squat.
I love how we're still talking about this on the stream itself.
No. No, people who know, like, they're experts in certain topics about, you know, whatnot, about spraying, about geoengineering. They don't talk about it. They're afraid.
It's a valid fear, honestly. It's a
I know.
It's a very valid fear. If I were in their position, I probably wouldn't either, to be honest.
Well, somebody's got to talk about it, and if I'm the only one, then fine.
If I were in the position where I was a pilot for that, and I was being threatened to not go on, I'm not sure what I would do in that situation, honestly. I'd like to think I would still go on, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what the Germans did back in World War II. You know, I understand your fears. I've been threatened before.
Well, I don't have any fear of going on this show. There's no reason to be afraid of going on a radio show when really you have very little expertise on a certain topic, or when you're not in a position where you have first-hand accounts of the topic. But if I were like a pilot, I'm not sure if I would say anything. But
we've got 5 of them now. We got 5.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad that pilots are speaking out. Don't get me wrong.
It took like 4 years to get them.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy they're coming on, but I'm just not sure if I would be able to do that if I were put in that position. I'm not sure.
Well, if I were you, I would focus on fun and having a radio show, inviting friends, printing postcards, posters, you know, come on my show kind of thing. You could use an iron-on, you know, put something on your T-shirt. You know, get people to have fun with you. Truthing can be fun. Why not?
This show, I wanted to connect with my friends, the other teenagers. I wanted to connect with them, so it's got to be somewhat fun.
Alright, I know what we can do for fun.
Oh.
Every show, we'll just rap.
There you go.
Except I'll actually have the lyrics written down, and it'll actually sound good.
Yeah,
I got a tiny bit of feedback in the YouTube comment section.
You did? Hold on.
It was more or less neutral. It's okay.
Yeah,
but, you know,
hey, you thought it was terrible, so
it was.
I think we're doing good.
I'm pretty sure you guys are just being like nice, not making me feel bad because I'm new.
No, you're pretty good, man. You should even have a rap-along song, you know?
I need to work on my rap voice itself. I mean, I have been awake for 24 hours. Yeah, about that. So I haven't been sleeping a little bit, so that also affected it. But yeah, I didn't really have my rap voice on.
Buzzicino says, check out George Carlin or Lee Camp. I'm a huge fan of Lee Camp. He's hilarious. I've
George. Yeah.
I've never heard of George Carlin, but I
Don't know
love.
George Carlin. Oh, he's the, you know, he's the only comedian to ever. Every single skit he made is about the truth, and he makes us laugh and bend over backwards because everything he says is so true about the education system in the United States and Canada and so on. You got to listen to George Carlin. He's dead now, but his spirit lives on, man. I wish there was a clone of him somewhere.
Lee Camp though, he's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should check him out. I'm subscribed to him. I only recently subscribed, but he's a pretty funny guy.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah. But
or you can have, you know, I've seen it in movies. You know, they have this rap duels. You know.
I've seen those. Usually they're pretty stupid.
No, but some are pretty good.
Oh man, those rap battles are sick. They're epic.
Some of them
Oh,
are
yeah?
good. Many of them are good, but a lot of the ones you see, like rap battle between Obama and Romney, that was stupid.
Oh, well, that's different. That's meant for that's meant to be sort of funny and stuff.
The rap battle between Superman and Goku, that was stupid.
That was great. Ray William Johnson played Goku.
I know.
That, you know, epic rap battles of history. That's their thing.
But yeah, I do want some humor in this show so that we can grow a teenage audience.
Yeah, you should have a female rapper also battle with you guys. You know?
I don't rap.
I don't really know where we can just sort of pick one of those up unless Dylan wants to play the female rapper.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. What else are we going to do?
Your voice too deep, man.
My voice, Chris, my voice has gotten deeper since we first started talking. You're not allowed to use that anymore.
What if we all pitch in money to buy him a helium tank?
Or a voice synthesizer. You know?
How about we just pitch some money together and do something something useful instead of buying helium.
Pitch the money together, buy me notebook so I can write down really awkward and silly raps, and then I can freestyle on the show. I'll be like, hey yo, my name is Chris and I'm the done rapper. I write raps all night, so in class I'm the napper.
Okay, that was honestly take this however you want. That was terrible.
25 hours now. A week. I almost fell asleep during the show. I was like, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. And now I'm acting all weird because, I don't know.
I like the helium balloon idea there.
If you had caught me a year ago, you would have been able to oppose me as the female rapper, but not anymore.
That's what you think.
Yeah, he's starting to sound like Darth Vader, man.
I don't. As long as I'm not going to start sounding like Christian Bale, then we're all good.
You like that actor?
No. I like him, but not in his Batman role. I think that voice was horrendous.
Oh my God, he was such a lousy Batman.
Not lousy. It was just his voice. Everything else was fantastic.
The voice was stupid. I highly disliked it.
Everything else about it was fantastic, honestly.
Yeah, well.
Maybe Ben Affleck will be better.
You know why he disguised his voice, so people won't recognize him?
Makes sense.
There's a difference, though, between not being able to recognize somebody and somebody sounding like they have throat cancer.
Yeah.
There is a large difference.
What I never understood in the Superman movies is that when he's a reporter, he's got glasses on, and then he takes his glasses off and he's Superman, and people don't know he's Clark Kent.
That was the 40s. Actually, no, I'm not even going to try that. That's been pretty much every Superman comic. I didn't like that. I think it's stupid.
A mask, a Guy Fawkes mask or something,
I love the Guy Fawkes mask. I think it's great.
Yeah.
We've
Well,
got.
yeah, you could rap with one of those masks on.
Oh, and if anyone, going back to the Monsanto topic for a moment, if anyone is interested, the merch against Monsanto is all weekend, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty good so far, yeah.
And by the way, this whole rap thing, I'm probably not gonna do it. I'd rather the channel have viewers than just us having fun.
I'd rather both of those be a reality. But Chris, I think that was just an idea. But this has to be fun for us to connect with the audience we want to connect with. It has to be fun.
I don't really think our target audience is a fan of rap, so
Teenagers?
I don't know very many teenagers that watch this.
Well, your friends did before they became uninterested.
Very, very quickly, yeah.
They became uninterested probably because we were just spouting off facts, not having fun.
Yeah, maybe.
I
But
have to go because my bat phone just rang. I have to go pick up my son at his stepbrother's there. So.
Alright, Sylvan, thanks for coming on. Hopefully you can come back before the show's over. We're going to be closing up in like 20 minutes.
I promised you 2 hours, and I've been here 2 hours. I kept my word, man.
Yep, yes you did.
If I can, I'll come back.
And we're going to be doing part 2.
Good news, yeah.
We're going to be doing part 2 tomorrow. If you can come on for that, I know it will be great to have you here. I know James is going to be coming back. I don't know about Chris. He's probably tired.
Oh, you can use me as a filler, you know. I can usually yak about stuff. But I got to go. He's waiting for me now. And Chris and Dylan, thanks for having me.
Sylvan, are you host of the call?
What?
Are you host of...
No, I am.
Okay, good.
No, he is, yeah.
All right, Sylvan, thank you for coming on again. I'll talk to you.
Yes, see ya.
Yeah, bye, man.
Bye.
Bye. How are we
Alright,
gonna...
rap battle, let's go.
How are we gonna fill up the next 20 minutes?
Alright, everybody in the comments, get out your, I don't know, your keypads. We're doing a live vote.
Buzz it, if anyone wants to call into the show and has Skype, my Skype is, oh, actually, I believe a few of you have me on Skype already. If you guys want to join in to the conversation for the next 20 minutes, that would be great. And if you can't, I guess Chris is going to have to rap for the next 20 minutes.
What do you mean I'm going to have to rap for the next couple minutes?
For the next 20. Because we got to fill it up till 2 hours.
Oh, snap, son. James, would you like to come in, my boy?
Please.
What?
Please, James, come back.
That's not the James you think. I'll add James to this call if you want.
Why is Ramen calling me?
Because that's James.
Oh.
I don't know what he has to talk about, but he said he knows bits and pieces about New World Order and the Illuminati.
Bring him in to the call, please.
Guess today's your lucky day.
I've spoken to Ramen before.
It's Raymond, but okay.
Raymond.
Or you can just call him James.
Or James. I don't know.
James, say something.
I said something.
Okay, you're with us.
Yeah.
Hey.
You weren't listening to that the whole time, were you?
No.
So you didn't hear any sort of music playing through it?
What music?
Perfect. All right. So, we'll just move on.
Oh, that is James that says he wants to join in. I'm reading the chat board.
All right. Well, if somebody wants to read their poem, we can bring that person in.
No, that was James.
It's all good.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a gun. Get in the van.
What?
This is just turning into random nonsense.
You know what? There's no structure anyway. I don't really care at this point.
So do you know that person that just said that they want to read their poem in the chat? It is
Ram-
Buzzacino.
Buzzacino. Is that you, Ramen?
No, that's me. No, I'm James. And
Yeah, he's James Gautreau, the French guy.
Oh,
France.
okay.
Yeah.
Stonley, if you want, you can join in.
So
So what were
out
you
of-
guys talking about?
out of like the
Hour?
person, like there's like one person actually talking, and you pick the person who isn't talking now. How do you think that person feels? They're like, I could come on and read my poem, and you just
I don't-
completely ignore it.
I don't know. Buzzacino, do you have Skype?
Please put Skype name in chat.
Oh, Buzzacino's on my contacts.
Never mind, do not put Skype name in chat.
Alright, we're gonna lose all structure to this in a moment.
We already did.
So how was the New World Order?
Pretty well, it was okay at the start until the actual people who knew what they were talking about left, and then it was me, just sort of, I don't want to talk about it, and then Dylan over there just sort of, I don't even know what he was doing.
Really?
Want to talk about anime for like 20 minutes?
Talking about revolution. Not really.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Ramen, we could talk about anime after the show.
Alright, cool.
I was just thinking that I'm going to go back and listen to my rap that I just did, but I'm scared.
Do it again.
I'm not just gonna do it again. You're the only one that missed it.
Stonley and Buzzacino, I added you guys into the room, and if you guys just want to enter in the call, feel free.
I think Chris, you have to add them.
I
But
put them
they're
in.
already
I put
in.
them in. They just gotta hit the join button.
Okay. Well, who's hosting?
Chris. They just gotta hit.
I can still like call them. I'll just call this guy.
Yeah, see, it wasn't going through on my screen when I looked in.
Oh, there's Stonely. Yeah, oh, they're both in now. Welcome, I'm guessing, gentlemen.
Hey
Hello,
guys.
you wonderful people.
Hello.
Hello.
So, heard you had a poem.
Yeah, my name's Buzzacino. Been doing this for about 4 years now. In a large group called Gamley, basically looking at everything that's been going on in the world, and I wrote a poem to deal with it. It's called Perceive.
Wow, I didn't have this good of an intro. Until it came in.
It's all good, yeah.
It's
Alright,
called
go for it.
Perceive. Here we go. Do you believe in the Chinese whispers, or only what you see with your eyes? Can you be sure of what you're seeing, or do you soak up all the lies? Why believe words over actions, when actions tell you so much more? Sight and sound are merely fractions of world stages, shore to shore. There's people crying, children dying, and more the bombs are flying. Earth is shaking, the sun's gone mad, water's tainted and the food is bad. There's radiation killing us all, sustainable resources taking a fall, holes in our ozone and a pole shift, tsunamis in store as tectonic plates drift, animals dying and birds dropping dead, tornadoes abound, weird storms overhead. It's all on the increase, new records galore, floods, droughts and blizzards like never before. When will we wake up, and is it too late? Has mankind really sealed its fate? The question therefore falls to you. Sit and take it, or do what you gotta do.
That was good.
Thank you.
I now feel ashamed.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. You did good.
You
Especially
came here
since
to
yours
show me
was
how.
made up. No, yours was made up on the spot, and mine has been written down ages ago.
Yeah, that was good. That was good, man.
You got the clap.
Thank you.
So,
It rhymed. That was a plus.
I still want to talk about the New World Order. I
Okay.
just don't know where to go next.
Did you guys talk about the Illuminati yet?
That's the only thing that he knows about. I'm guessing he knows bits and pieces.
Oh, it depends, Ramen. Are you talking about the one that's used for publicity, or
The one that's trying to take over the world using the media, whichever one that one is.
so the one that uses it for publicity? I'm not too familiar with it, but
Yeah, like the subliminal messages in music videos and songs and videos using the eye since 2000 that predicted there was, in certain cartoons, there were certain references to the Illuminati and their order, such as in Johnny Bravo, which was Cartoon Network, airing in
I love that
2001.
show.
Yeah, there was this poster at a movie movie theater, and it said 2001, and then it had the inscriptions of 9 and 11, and then it had a picture of the Twin Towers. And this was totally before 9/11 happened, when this episode aired, and then like a year later, 9/11 actually happened, and then they took it out of they re-released it on DVD, and that scene is not in there anymore. Ed, Edd n Eddy has a bunch of it relating to the all-seeing eye and other various things that you wouldn't see normally in a kid's show. Courage had some, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That was
a lot of references.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, there was a lot in there. Just naming some off the top of my head.
You see, having us teens in this room is good, but the adults wouldn't know any of these references from the cartoons.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you're wrong there.
Well, yeah,
I'm an adult and I've watched cartoons all my life. Once a kid, always a kid.
Amen. Amen.
How old are you?
44 this year.
Oh. Have you watched the ones that Raymond mentioned?
I've watched many cartoons over the years. I just love them. But the past 3 years, I haven't been able to watch any unless they've been on YouTube clips, this and that, the other, because I've just stopped watching TV altogether. I've had enough of the brainwashing.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't watch TV, they just use Netflix at this point.
I don't watch my TV. I've still got it here. I just use it to go to sleep.
Yeah.
By the way, may I mention about what we're talking about there, the Illuminati? Mm-hmm. If you look at tactics, the way that the powers that be work is via tactics. And if you look at the tactics they've been using lately, they've been doing the create the boogeyman effect, which is someone for everybody to hate so that they've got a reason to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So the Illuminati, all these different groups, they're lower echelons of the pyramid of power, given a public name so that they are a public target, but if you took them out, it wouldn't really make much difference because you'd be missing the powers that be. They'd still be in control at the top. So if you get what I mean, it's another part of the brainwashing. They give you publicly a name to name the bad guy with, but it's not really that one that is in control.
Well,
you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I forget what movie it was, but in one of the I think it was a Disney movie, there was an eye chart in the background. I forget.
Yeah, old Disney stuff has a lot of them too.
Yeah, the eye chart read out ask about Illuminati.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I think you'll find out there's other groups as well as the Illuminati. I mean, there's many different groups by very many different names, like the Skull and Bones. You got the Bilderberg group. You got the Masons. You know, there's so many different groups that are all different levels of the pyramid of power. But at the very top, you got the powers that be. And other than what we call the powers that be label, they have no real label. So all the rest are expendable, therefore you know their names. The Illuminati, the Bilderberg group, and all the rest of them. Yeah, so nobody really knows that top lot yet. That's where we got to get to.
I think the one of the worst parts about like society and stuff too is that all these groups that you just mentioned are public, and like a lot of information is known about them, but at the same time a lot of information isn't known. And you could go up to somebody and ask, what's the Illuminati? And I bet you like 75% of the United States would say, oh, it's this group that's trying to take over the world. And what are we doing about it?
What about the Black Pope?
Say again? Say again, Stone? I couldn't really hear you.
I think he's got mute his YouTube.
Yeah.
I think he said like Black Pope.
Yeah, that,
What about her?
yeah, he's,
That's what
I don't know that group, honestly.
that's what I heard. I could have heard wrong too.
Yeah.
Just putting it in chat.
Jet
Black Pope. I called it. I
Correct.
called that so hard. If I would have called it harder, a phone would have appeared.
Chris.
Yeah.
You were typing in the comments. Only 2 viewers left. We've actually gone back up to 3. So your rhymes didn't kill anybody. Don't worry. Don't worry. They were good.
No, he's got real talent there because being able to do something spontaneously is very difficult. I mean, most of the top rappers, it's all lies. They don't come out with it like on the spot. They work on it. They get it pitch perfect. They get it word perfect. They get it in rhythm. They edit it. You know, the lot. When you see some of these people do it in real life, even though they've practiced it many, many times so that they get it perfect, they still cock it up when it's a live one because they haven't got as much technical help in there as they would have in the studio.
I came up with...
what you got to be able to do it on the spot is a real gift, and you shouldn't give up on a gift.
No.
Well, there was a lot of practice with it. Like when I first started, I would just write a rap or write lyrics and work on it, and I practice. But then when I get bored, I just start start rhyming, saying things, and after a while, it just sort of reversed. So now I can't really write rap properly, but I can just freestyle and record myself and then play it back and write down some of the things that I said. So I sort of have to do it backwards now.
So,
I have to perform first.
I thought of another not really even subliminal. They flat out said it. In the new Captain America film, they explicitly say in the movie, once we establish the New World Order, we will kill those who oppose us. They flat out say it.
Well, in every power grab by each maniac around the world over the past history, that's pretty much what they've done. I mean, everybody's talking about the Holocaust. No one actually points out that, hang on, 6 million plus in the Holocaust, but where's the mention of the 8 million plus Germans that were opposing Hitler that were killed by the Germans? Hitler took over Germany first before anywhere else and killed a lot of opposition, just like what's going on now.
It's amazing that people can't see it.
We have to cut the head off the Queen.
I wouldn't go with that approach, Stone, but I do like that you're thinking.
It's the only place I can think to start.
Bad man.
Well, if we start there with destroying our opposition, wouldn't we be no different from Hitler?
Well,
I don't know. They beheaded monarchs and whatnot, and kings and queens, and you name it, all through history. It's a well-known practice.
Yeah.
The thing is with numbers is that is where the real power lies. I mean, we could do a completely non-violent takeover of the whole system if you had a world revolution of numbers, because there's like 6.5 billion versus 500 million. The odds are in our favour, you know, without firing a shot. I mean, look at all the revolutions that have gone on in the past, how bloody they were. And yet, look at most of the modern revolutions by the people. There's been very little bloodshed, you know. It's been done with numbers, which stops the bloodshed.
I can name a few that have had massive bloodshed.
Yeah, but most of them wasn't in overpowering numbers. I mean, if you have a small protest group, which is the powers that be's idea, you know, that they try to constrict protests, which they have been doing, turning everywhere into police state, oh, you can't group up in too many in those areas. So most protests these days are minimised. And when you've got small numbers, then you're going to have the violence because they want the violence. That's part of the control mechanism. Violence is a controllable situation because you can control both sides. He said this, she said that, he shot him, you know?
Divide and conquer, you got to do it. And we have to do it to them, though. This is going to be the secret to or overtaking them. So we got to...
Stone, I don't disagree. I don't disagree, but we don't know who we're up against. We just know the idea we're up against.
Oh, I got a pretty good idea who we're up against.
Can you drop some names?
Well, here's the thing. The people we're up against think that they have the power. And if everybody stood up at once around the world and changed the system, they would have no power at all and wouldn't be able to do anything about it. It's the system that they've put in place that is causing all this, and we need to change the system to a better one that actually looks after every individual's rights around the world. Because at the moment it's just all conglomerate-based ruling. Their new world order is almost finished. They've almost got it in place. We're heading towards a World War III unless we stop it now.
Agreed. And it's all going to start in Ukraine.
I don't know about that.
I think it's too close. The U.S. is surrounding Russia because of this. I'll be shocked if it doesn't cause at least a little skirmish.
Well, the skirmish, as you say, pretty much already happened.
That's what I was just going to say. I think World War III is... We've been in World War III for a while, and nobody really realizes, because it's being fought with unconventional weapons. That's weather weapons, that's frequencies, that's mind manipulation. It's a strange war we're fighting this time. We're not using bullets.
Mind control. Ugh. Better get out the tinfoil hats.
The funny thing is, there's actual scientists that can prove to you, with scientific equipment, that mind control using heart is actually real, to the point of, by beaming certain frequencies on, like, to your own personal frequency, they can beam words into your head, music into your head. Everyone around you wouldn't be able to hear it, but you would. Even Jesse Ventura has actually looked into this and met scientists that on his show are showing how to put music into Jesse's head without it going through his ears. Yeah. It's very possible to do. It's out there, the information, the research. People only have to go and look.
Okay, wait. You mean like they can make it play and you hear it perfectly fine, but nobody else can?
They can access your DNA. They can access your DNA with frequency. Your DNA is literally just a frequency, a signature, and it can be accessed if they get your DNA, then they know your frequency and your signature, and they can definitely manipulate you.
Well then, they've got me then. I've had multiple tests done.
They've got me, but not by the DNA part. They got me as a buyer. If I can find an iPod that doesn't need headphones, oh my god.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, over the past 30, 40, maybe even longer than that years, they've got your DNA the second you was born.
Damn it.
Because that's what they've been doing in hospitals for the past 30, 40 years. Every baby, DNA sample.
Oh yeah, speaking of that.
Yeah.
What do you think about those chips that they started putting in newborns in Europe?
Yeah. That is sick. That is the mark of the beast. Once they can put chips in everyone, they'll go to one digital currency, and then you either do as you're told or you don't get fed. That is what they're aiming for.
I think I heard that it was going to be maybe starting in the U.S. in 2017.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. Relating sort of back to the Illuminati sort of part of it, like what you guys said about mind control and stuff, people like to sneak in like stuff like that into their songs that you listen to with headphones on too. with subliminal messages, sort of tying into more mind control that doesn't actually require like any frequencies and stuff. Just sort of getting you into the habit to like go to their cause and stuff once they like take over for a new world order.
Sure.
Sort of
Subliminal.
Like,
Subliminal. Yeah. Well, did you know that way back before World War II, Hitler changed the frequency in the world. Everything in the world was like songs, music. They were at a different. It was 382 or something megahertz, and Hitler forced everybody to go to 440 megahertz, or convinced them to anyway. And
that's amazing.
That was a very big thing. That's a crazy thing he did. See, he was into this kind of stuff, Hitler and all his crazy German scientists there.
Oh yeah, they were part of it. They were part of the project.
Just look into it, 440 megahertz, and then check into what it used to be. It used to be like, I think it was what was it? You might know, Buzz. 382, was it?
I didn't actually go by megahertz. I was going by hertz, as in the frequency of the Earth.
James, who was on the show earlier, just messaged me. He said it was 440. He said you were right. It's 440.
Yeah, yeah. That's what. But Hitler changed it to that. It used to be different before that. Now, how he managed to do that is beyond me.
Well, they were experimenting with the systems even back then.
But what we're finding out is that change, when you're talking about frequencies, is not a good thing, because the Earth has been going gradually at 7.83 hertz. Now, funny enough, when they found this out, at the same time, they were doing their studies into the brainwaves, and they found out that the alpha waves of the human brain come out at 7.83 hertz. In other words, matching the same as the planet.
James just told me again that 440 leads you into into influential state of mind.
That's right. And then the fluoridation of the water. They also
they got
the water along with the 440, and they had people just mind fucked. Sorry for the language.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about censorship on this.
Well, with the frequencies, one of the major problems is that they haven't looked into long-term studies of things, and you've got all these radio towers popping up worldwide, all this Wi-Fi and all the rest of it, and you've got an absolute sea of frequencies bouncing back and forward. Also, you got the harp, and you got all the other different frequencies from the transmitting stuff. You got the electromagnetic fields of all the electrical equipment around the world creating static fields as well. So you got multiple layers going on. And now the world seems to be changing, because now the world is actually giving off a higher frequency of 12 point something hertz. And of course, when you change the hertz of the world and the people that are connected in the same frequency, then you change the people, which means that we, as a people, are going to be affected by the hertz.
Something I've noticed, though, and I don't know if it's just me. Go barefoot. Go in the back lawn and walk barefoot in the grass. Get barefoot on the earth, and you'll feel the difference.
James says fluoride attacks the pineal gland, or the reasoning part, and that's also the reasoning part of the brain.
Yeah, the pineal gland is the part of the brain that releases certain chemicals that help you sleep and supposedly connect with your higher self. And therefore, if they calcify it with the fluoride, which is what it causes, it dulls you down, makes you lose memory, makes you not go with the flow.
I read that like a year ago. I read that like a year ago before I was awake and thought that was crazy, and now that I see the scientific evidence, I'm a little ashamed I didn't see it before, honestly.
Well, it's just like many things. I mean, people seem to not understand the chemical makeup of the body. I mean, when you're happy, there's certain chemicals released in your body, endorphins, this, that, and the other. You know, it's a pickup, but also it creates health. When you're happy, do you really search for loads of energy? No, because you've got loads of energy because the right chemicals are reacting in your body. When you're sad, when you're down, when you're angry, all these other chemicals are released into your body. All of a sudden you feel as though you haven't got as much energy, unless of course you're really angry, which adrenaline, but when you come down off of that you get a bad body rush, you know. Most of those feelings give a bad chemical reaction in the body which can make you ill. So the more positive you stay in life, the happier you stay in life, the healthier you will be in life, and the more energy you will have. That's a physical happening every day. And the choice is yours. Because you can control your feelings. It takes practice, but the choice is yours.
Positive mental attitude.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm just reading something. I was just reading an article really fast. It was a quote from Reagan about what it would take to unite the world, and he had said, 2018, the world's are under attack. He gave us.
You've seen about Project Paperclip?
Yes.
Have you heard of Project
I know
Paperclip?
people who came from that operation.
Well, so this all goes. Everything kind of goes right back to before the Germans. Well, before World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it goes back a lot further. That's as far as we kind of recognize and have to think about.
Mm-hmm. Ramen.
Yes.
Is there anything you wanted to add? Because you and Chris have been pretty quiet.
I mean, I'm not really too good on this subject.
Oh.
I mean, these guys seem like they have it under control, so.
Yeah. Stick with us, and stick with this group, and you'll become an expert in no time.
Yeah, apparently.
Chris has learned a lot in the past week.
I found it. I never really knew some of the stuff you guys are talking about too.
Oh, James.
One thing I'll say is you're never gonna know, and that's what'll make you a wizard is the day that you realize you don't know, and you're never gonna know. Keep on trying to find out more, because you're never gonna. As soon as you think you know, then that's the end of the road, and that's not the way it is.
Actually, James came from a.
Keep on going.
James, who was on the show earlier, came from Paperclip. His dad came here from that. Sorry, I just killed the room.
No.
Is any
Chris, you want to start rapping again, or?
No.
Robin, how about you start talking about media again? If you. Gregory.
Yes, Dylan.
Did you have anything you wanted to discuss about the topics at hand?
Well, I can read you another poem.
Sure.
Yay.
This was a quick and simple one that I did called Pressure and the Immortal. They try to push me and make me mad. They want me to believe that I am bad, that my thoughts are wrong for wanting peace. They want my rage and my anger release. They want to kill me, so they make my blood boil. They want me to murder for the sake of their oil. But I will not bend and I will not kneel, for in my heart it is love that I feel. They may batter my body and mess with my mind, but my light within will always stay kind. They cannot make me follow their goal. They can kill my body, but they can't kill my soul.
That was good.
I'm crying because of that one. Teared up a little bit.
Got another one if you want. This is more modern.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, it's all yours.
Another short one called Sea of Fields. Everything comes from something, so we must look at the start. Our Earth, our home, our mother, really has a heart. At 7.83 hertz it beats to give life a steady flow. And everything attunes itself to this beat so it can grow. The more advanced the species, the more the beat we find, matched in hertz the alpha waves in every human mind. So if everything's connected to this beat, then we're in trouble. Because the hertz they're throwing out there are gonna burst our bubble.
That was good.
Thank you.
You've got talent for this stuff.
Oh, Sylvain calls me the Dr. Seuss of activism. I write poems and mass action demand now and again with him.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna quit my job.
Nah, you're good too, Chris.
No, you got the talent, mate. I've got a talent for sitting there and writing poems and songs, but when it comes to spontaneous stuff, you'll always amaze an audience with something spontaneous, so you want to stick to it. And one thing I'll say about life, mate, you can't take money with you. You can't take possessions with you. But you can take memories and regrets. Don't ever regret when you have a chance that you didn't take. I mean, so what if you cock up a few times? It's a simple case of a few people will laugh, but eventually you'll get it perfect, and the people that hear you perfect will like it, and all of a sudden you'll have a big following, and then you'll get to be a name, and then you'll have more confidence and get even better. And God knows where it'll end up, mate. You could be a star. Who knows? But you'll never find out unless you try.
All right, drop me a beat.
I mean, do I have to like drop a beat, or can I search something up on my phone and that can be a beat? Does that work?
Oh, this show is
There's certain beats that I have to use.
This show is becoming fun.
No, you just got to make sure you don't use anything that's copywritten.
Yeah, no. I'll look for something copyrighted for you. Yeah, unless you want. You're pretty good at making beats too. I've known this guy, Chris, for about like 2 years now.
Make them
Yeah,
wait, what?
You're good at making beats. Yeah. You always tell me to drop a beat, and then you'll drop a beat, and then we're in the Skype call. You just start off. You've done this for like 2 years. I don't know if you realize.
I never make beats.
Oh, you make beats.
I've never made a beat.
Chris.
We could do a cappella or whatever.
Chris, James wants to hear the one from before, I think.
He typed it in the chat. Is it the same one?
No. You're gonna have to rewind, mofo.
Alright, I will.
Not you, Ramen. The other James.
What?
Oh, well, we have the same name.
No, I was talking about this James here right now.
Oh, I was talking about James who was on the show earlier.
Oh. Wait, why? Why would you want to hear that? Oh, wait, was he not there for that?
No, he was preparing his notes for his show tonight. He left, and then we were just sitting there for a few minutes.
Oh. Sucks to be him.
Yeah, James seems to want to hear it, so come on. The fans want to hear it.
$2 and you got a deal.
Alright, I have like 59 cents in PayPal. Anybody else want to chip in?
We're not paying Chris.
What?
If I'm not getting paid,
non-profit?
neither. Yes. Yes, it is.
Yep, I didn't charge anything for my poems.
What?
I said I didn't charge anything for my poems.
And that was where your greatest mistakes were. Stone, Dylan isn't in Canada.
No, I'm in the U.S.
I'm in Canada though.
And most of
I'm
you,
in Britain.
most of you guys are from another country. I'm the only one in the U.S.
Oh, no, you're not.
I thought you were in Canada. I thought you knew Chris from high school.
No.
No.
He's in New Hampshire, or whatever that is.
Oh, you're really close to me.
Creepy. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, okay, Chris.
I'm in Alberta.
Oh, nice.
So, Chris, the fans really do want to hear it.
The fans, the whole two people.
Are we
I'll
really?
reach out to the world.
Are we really down to 2? No, we're still at 5.
Well, no, well, it's both Jameses, isn't it?
Both Jameses. We've
That's
got
it.
we've got 3 authentic listeners, or 3 people that haven't been on the show. I mean.
All right, I'm gonna do it pretty much the exact same as the last one because after I finished rapping and saying how I did it, I went back and listened while all of you guys talked and wrote it down.
Go for it. Oh, and James says if you're all about money, you're in the wrong business. That's James's words.
Well, I run my own business, so I can be in several businesses at once. They don't all have to have the same goal.
That's true.
Alright, I just unplugged my headset so you guys can hear the beat.
Other James, did you hear that too?
My other James?
Yes, your other James.
Okay, I did not hear the rap, so I'm waiting to hear it.
This is gonna get confusing. We have two James. We're gonna have 2 Dylans. Chris, we can't hear anything.
There's only one stone.
I was getting it ready.
Yeah, there is only 1 stone. You're right.
There's only one buzzer chino.
That's fair too. I don't think I've heard that before.
You guys hear it?
Yep.
Alright, so make sure you hear it before I actually start and stuff.
Alright.
So this one's written down. I'm way too tired to freestyle right now.
He's got 2 minutes, so...
Alright, this shouldn't take 2 minutes. Alright. I said start? Okay. So, you know, same thing as last time. Did this because some people don't believe. Have you ever noticed the difference in a sky? Have you ever experienced the impact of the lies? There was a place I visited. It was a field of flowers. Now I realize the area is just getting devoured. People say movement groups in our time just fail. They just get ignored whenever they talk about Harpachem trails. It stirs up with the government and all of their security. They just don't listen when you talk about Harper conspiracies. It was proven beyond physical proof that we gained. It was like the world chemicals dropped in rain, like the clouds are spraying chemicals on us. We're being stained with the pain of knowing, but there's no gain. I'm sure somewhere around us the government lurks, so go ahead, just try to stop the truth that hurts. Hide all the work of the truth speaks not work. I guarantee you that whatever you do won't work. After being acknowledged as a teen truther, I felt like I was promoted to helping others and do the topic and getting devoted on explaining how the clouds were coded. I'm stumbling everywhere. Everything the government has hidden makes me want to hurl, but the help with the youth, we can change the world for all the people who live in the urban and rural. If you listen to this and you want to share your piece, you're welcome to come and join us on The Truth Speaks. Alright. The media today, it's just full of lies. They keep on talking. I just begin to despise. Want to look at the one who's in charge, look at them straight in the eye, and tell me, chemtrails aren't real. They use the harp, and they use it to steal information that quickly just loses its appeal. And what they use for it next is just simply unreal. Now, I know what you guys are thinking right now. This rap song may have lyrics going left and right, but as long as this is up, I will just continue to fight. If I stop, then indeed, I believe I'm a loser. But for right now, I will continue to be a teen truther. Oh my god, I stumbled everywhere during that. That was so bad.
Nah, it was good, dude.
The whole like first like 2 verse part, I suppose. I don't know.
All right,
The rap
so
is just in pieces everywhere.
so the chat will give you how we thought of your song.
I already closed it. I'm done. No.
No, the chat. No, on the Skype chat.
Okay.
It'll be recorded too, so you can kind of play with it.
That was good though. I don't think you stumbled that much.
I stumbled so much.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
No, well, compared to the first one, I did really bad.
I'm not much of a music critic, but it seems to me like you should pause a few times throughout it. Like, I don't know. I don't know much about rap.
See, that's the thing. I was reading my music, and when I read it, I sort of stumble over my words because I'm trying to get it right, and I don't feel like a good flow because I wasn't freestyling it.
Well, I'm not sure you should ramble. I don't think you should ramble certain parts of it together. There should be a break between certain parts of it.
Oh yeah, there were a couple parts of the song where it was just like 3 lines and then a break. Like I said, I just made that and I just did it twice today, but.
Well, one thing I heard from a rapper once, I actually asked, how do you manage to rap like straight off the cuff like that? And he said to me, words. I said, what do you mean? He said, words. All words have a certain amount of beats to the word, you know, like word is 1 beat, the is 1 beat, posse is 2 beats, resound is 2 beats. And he said once you know the beats for every word, you can rap just the right amount of beats for each bit of music that comes up. And you got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you were making it rhyme too, and making it rhyme. Well, I guess if you're going to make it rhyme, it's going to have 2 beats, as long as your last word has 2 beats.
I just don't know a lot about rap, so I'm kind of sitting here not understanding at all what's going on.
With you. I'm kind of with you, Dylan. I never was. I'm pretty old. I'm pretty old too. I'm what? I forget sometimes how old I am. I'm 53, 54, something like that.
I'm 15 and I still don't know what rap really is overall.
Well, then probably someday if we have like no viewers and we're really bored, I should just do a full freestyle, not have anything written down, just make it up on the spot, put it together after the show.
Well,
see what I can come up with.
Here's an idea for you. Do a little bit of effort, a little bit of work, and get this initial rap that you did today down, and work it out so that it sounds good as a start for Dylan's show.
Whoa.
And do once a week a collection where you invite different people that freestyle rap to rap some truth.
I don't know anybody else. It's just sort of a thing that I've always done alone. And plus, I don't really like.
Yeah, but once this, they will come. Once you build, if you build it, they will come.
Well, this and comedy will bring a lot of people in.
Yep.
Yes, music and comedy. It's got to be fun. Otherwise, the truth just gets walked over by the mainstream media and all their pizzazz.
Well, and even the alternate news media is a little bit boring and non-entertaining, and that's something I've always said.
So
right from the start is it's got to be entertaining enough that people want to, you know.
I tune into Lee Camp.
Listen to it.
I tune into Lee Camp every day. The man is hilarious.
He is funny, but Lee Camp actually has been influenced by George Carlin. George Carlin in his later years done so much. I mean, he actually uses words like a poet. He really is like a comic poet. He's amazing. If you just listen to some of his later years' work, the last 15 years of his life, you will be amazed at how much logic and common sense that man threw out there against the wishes of the powers that wanted to keep him down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I promote people listening to George Carlin because he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, he was a good He was a good guy. He died of old age, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he made you laugh and implanted so much truth in you that you didn't even realise that you had so much truth in your head once you'd walked away because you were still busy laughing.
I'm gonna have to look into some of his stuff because if it's that funny.
Oh, it is.
Well,
it is.
it's irony. It's irony is that's what's funny. The irony, like the way he plays with it.
Yeah, and the way he puts things. I mean, he's like a lyricist. Some of it's like music, some of it's like poetry, some of it's one-liner, ba-boom, you know. He is the master with words. George Carlin, definitely.
Well, I see my hero has been speaking up lately. Jeff Bridges. He's been putting out some stuff, and Woody Harrelson.
I like Woody Harrelson's a great actor.
Well, he's very active against chemtrails and geoengineering as well, and so is Jeff Bridges. And I want to try and get celebrities into this with us.
Danny Glover. Danny Glover goes on almost every show that gets a decent broadcast out there. Danny Glover helps out a lot with a lot of groups.
And Roseanne Barr, another one.
Yes. I mean, is she still going for president in 2016? Is she running or what?
I think she kicked back. She don't want that. Hey, you'd have to be a damn fool to want to be president of the United States. Let's face it.
Well,
she's not a fool.
I think that a guy like we were talking about him earlier, Jesse Ventura, would be a great choice.
Well, he was saying he wanted to run, but he needed someone to co-run with him.
Well, he got somebody.
That seemed to be the problem.
He got somebody.
No, I think he didn't get somebody soon enough because, you know, the position that he would have to take, there's his family, his friends and all them that are behind him, but they actually want him to stay safe, and he's taking on a responsibility that would put on him and his whole family their safety.
That's right.
And that's why he moved to Mexico. I mean, he's thinking safety first, so I've got to be honest, I don't think Jesse's going to do it.
Maybe he will, maybe he won't, but I think he'd be an ideal choice.
It's a recording. If he's under control...
Would you be the president of the United States if you had the opportunity?
Me? I don't know.
Any of you?
I don't know. I might.
I think it would be a ridiculous position to want to be in. I don't think any of these guys really have a choice. They're kind of groomed from birth.
Oh.
Well, if the government wasn't so corrupt, then anyone would want to be president because they'd be able to change the system for something better where everyone's looked after and they'd have a good time doing it. Where it's so corrupt, no one wants to because a good man gets in there, they'll shoot him in the back.
Yeah, like the movie Dave. You ever seen the movie Dave?
Yep.
I have not.
Oh, well, you better check it out when you get the chance.
What's it called again?
Dave.
Dave?
It's got Sigourney Weaver in it and another famous actor, but I can't remember his name.
I don't know Sigourney Weaver.
Aliens.
Alien. Love
Alien
that movie.
4.
Oh, Alien 4.
You know, they're all Sigourney Weaver.
Dave is about, I'll give you a brief summary. Dave is about a guy that has to replace, a lookalike that has to replace the president because the president, something has happened to the president.
Sounds interesting.
It is. It's a really good show. You should watch it. He gives a really good testimonial at the end, man. It's tear-jerking, too.
All right, Chris.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Chris is just taking a break.
Mr. S mentioned Woody Harrelson. Now, Woody Harrelson has been doing a lot of stuff, and he's he's got this video called Ethos on YouTube. He stands there and talks to people for an hour, pointing out all the different things through history that's been going on. It's really worth a watch. It explains a lot, and most of it's true. I think they've left a few of the stuff out, but only so that they could actually put it out on the media and not get it taken down. But they got most of it, what they needed to, on there. It's a good vid.
I'll check it out. Robin, are you still here?
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know what to talk about next. I'm running out of ideas.
It's still May 24th, and I want to talk about Monsanto.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about...
Today was March for Monsanto, and
March against.
You guys obviously didn't march much. I marched back and forth to the beer fridge, but I watched it live. I watched some live footage on from St. Louis and whatnot. I'm pretty. That's my number one enemy, and I think the weakest part of this whole thing is Monsanto, and that's where we should be striking the hardest first and work our way up from different ways from there. But
agreed. But the hard part is establishing one group. That's the difficult part of it all.
Well, Monsanto is a group.
I know.
Monsanto is one company.
I know, but establishing a group to go after them.
Yeah, well, rest in peace, Jim Tucker. I talked to Jim Tucker one time, and he's the one that told me. Like, he told me, this is a Medusa. You can't. There isn't one head. There's not one thing that we can. You can't just cut one head off of any part of it. You gotta go after all the heads, I don't know. Find the heart and go for the weak spot. And I had to pick something. I couldn't spread I'm spread so thin with all of this that I had to pick something to concentrate on, and I concentrated on Monsanto.
It's a good idea.
Well, we've almost taken them down. They're hurting. We've done a lot of damage to them, and
they're feeling it.
Well, there's scientific studies from all around the world showing that there's tumours in rats, hamsters, whatever they feed it to. There's scientific studies showing that they're using Monsanto GMO feed for animals, which are causing the animals to die, and the farmers are losing their farms over it because they're losing all their stock, and Monsanto are buying up all the farms, and this is happening worldwide. Monsanto is just one arm, though. You know, what they're trying to do is what was mentioned back in Germany years ago. How do you control the people? Control the food and water, and you will control the people. So Monsanto, with the genetic modified foods and all the rest of it, they want to make that the sustained source of food for the world. That's why they've got those seed banks, and that's why they're not listening to the law and spreading this GMOs to infect all the normal crops, so that everything becomes GMO and you won't be able to get normal food anymore.
Yeah, like, ask yourself, I mean, when I really realized that something was really bad with Monsanto is when Obama signed the Protection Act.
That was recent.
I mean, I was already against it before that for quite some time. But as soon as he did that, that's a no-brainer. They need a Protection Act? So really? Isn't that a red flag for everybody?
It's a red flag for me, but sadly I'm in the minority.
Actually, you're not, because the amount of countries around the world that have banned GMOs, and I mean just banned them outright, is growing. You got different states and counties for America that have started banning GMOs. If you look at Monsanto's stocks, they're dropping through the floor. It's a battle that we're winning.
Well, that's good. We need to win something.
Oh, we are. You see, when things look the worst, they're not always the worst, because there's always good people in amongst these bad people trying to oppose what they're doing. It's a constant battle in the background that we don't know about. I mean, people are talking about if there's martial law, are the police or the army going to shoot us? Well, most of them were asked, would you shoot American citizens?
Yeah,
Would you shoot these type of innocent people?
I
Now,
interviewed.
those people are smart people, and they have to understand, well, hang on, if I say no, they're going to sack me, I've lost my job, and then no one can help out when it all goes down. And plus, they're being lied to about the situation, so it don't matter if they lie back. So most of them will turn around and say, yes, I will shoot them, but won't actually shoot when it comes down to it, but instead will point their guns at the other guys and give it, put your guns down.
And ask yourself this other question. Why does Monsanto need its own army? They bought their own. They bought Blackwater.
Right, I remember that. Well, I think. Will you guys be around at all tomorrow?
I will be in the evening. I mean, it's 4 o'clock in the morning now. I'm normally busy till about 6 o'clock on a Sunday, but 6 o'clock onwards I'm available.
Okay, Stone and Ramen, how about you guys?
What time do you usually do this kind of stuff around? Because I know Chris said you guys don't really have a set time.
We don't have a set time at all. We do this when we build the schedule really around our guests.
Okay, well, I will probably be home tomorrow around like this sort of time, so like 9, 10-ish. So that'll work out for me and Bubsby at least.
Okay, Stone, what about you?
Hard to say. I would say this time of day, like this time. I don't know.
Okay.
I get my computer time towards the end of the day.
Well, tomorrow will be part 2 of this topic. So we'll be discussing Monsanto, we'll be discussing the New World Order. But and we'll hopefully have James for the entire show as well. So we can have a large discussion about it.
Do you have clear skies there?
No.
Meteorite shower again tonight.
Of course. That's when those guys are the hardest to see.
Yeah. So far it hasn't amounted to be as spectacular as they said it was going to be.
Probably because the sky's being blocked.
we got some clear skies here tonight, so I'm hoping maybe we'll get to see it.
Well, thank you guys for coming on, but I think I'm gonna have to go in a minute. I'm getting tired.
Well, I can understand why. What's it been?
It's been just over 2.5 hours, but it's also 11 o'clock at night here.
Yeah, so I suggest you go get some sleep.
Yeah, but I look forward to doing this again. So
yeah, for sure. This is inspiring. It's good to see you young people. I hate to see you guys involved in this, to tell the truth. I've mentioned that to Sylvain and some other people. I hate to see you young people involved in this, to tell the truth, because you should be out being kids, not messing with this stuff. But if that's what you want to do, well, we're here to help you.
Well, if we don't do it, really, I look at it like this: if we don't do it, who will?
Well, I was kind of hoping we'd have it fixed before you guys had to worry about it.
Believe me, I would have been ecstatic if you guys could do that. But it is what it is. I'll get some help.
Hey, we won't turn down the help.
No, to be truthful, you guys seem like you need it. Winning this one.
Oh, we definitely need it, but it's a case of I'm just glad that so many young people are waking up nowadays, and I think partially it's because now you're all being affected by it as well, you know. So at the end of the day, if we all club together, we got the numbers, and we can stop them.
I like the optimism. Let's win this one.
Realize.
Well, you got to stay positive.
Realize.
Yep, we have to. It's the only thing we've got.
Well, remember, the only time something ever becomes impossible is when you say it's impossible.
Agreed.
And never say try, because trying is the first word in failure. You don't try and do something. You either don't do it or you do it.
Well, let's win this.
We already won it.
I really like that optimism. We're far
Well, we're
from...
just waiting for the powers that be to give up. They know they've lost. That's why all the crap is hitting the fan right now all around the world. They know they've lost. We're just waiting for them to give up now.
I don't think it's that easy, but I hope it is.
Well, they might throw a few more tantrums before the end, but they've got to give up sooner or later. I mean, you look at history. They keep pushing people. The people rise up and stop them.
Oh,
It has to happen.
another quote from that movie. Man, there were a lot of messages in that one. When you try to take someone's freedom by force, they resist. You have to make them willing. He was saying that in response to what Hitler had done.
Hey guys, I'm back.
You got back just in time. We're closing up.
Perfect. I was just telling people.
Any last words?
Actually, I have
hit the money in the.
Yeah, actually, there's a whole topic that I'd like to cover. I'm joking.
Well, if you've got a whole other topic you want to cover,
I'm joking.
I
I
can
just
hold
came
it.
in, I heard someone talking about Hitler, and we're closing up. Let's do it.
Alright, thank you for coming on, guys. I hope you can come back for part 2. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, part 2.
Yes, tomorrow, Chris.
Oh, wait, no, I'm part of that. Okay.
Yeah, Chris, if you don't want to join in, you're fine.
So now you don't want to hear me rap?
I
Wow.
do. I do,
I'm
but you seem upset that you're coming on tomorrow.
No, I've just been awake for like 26 hours. I'm just tired.
Why were you up
I'm a
for
little
20?
upset.
Sleep, dude. Sleep.
Yeah, come on,
Oh,
sleep is
That's
great.
what I want to do.
Well, then go.
I'm a little upset. No one read my joke out.
What?
In the show, whilst you was all talking, somebody mentioned helium, and I made a joke up on the spot, which was, what do you get when you cross helium with a maid? Everything's squeaky clean.
Oh, that's what the hell. Okay.
I didn't even hear that.
I saw that, but yeah, I didn't think of it that. My God.
Oh, this is too fun.
It has been fun.
See, we just needed a third person to call in to give us something entertaining.
Well, me and Stone have always been classed as being entertaining, that's for sure.
Well, I will be. I'm sure I'm not the first
one. I'm not sure about hanging out with 15-year-olds on the internet.
Hey, it's all good. I'm 17. It's all good. I'm almost legal.
They'll say I'm a pedophile or something.
It's not the worst thing they can call us.
Well,
they wouldn't call you that.
They'd like to get something on me, you bet.
I'm sure they're looking for something on me, but they don't have to look far. But, thank you guys for coming on. This is the Truth Speaks Network, and you can tune in tomorrow.